Imagine you woke up tomorrow with unlimited discipline. Everyone would do the same thing. You would wake up early, you would go to the gym, you would eat healthy, you would be productive, you would study, you would go on matcha runs, you'd start up a business, you'd do anything because you have that drive in you that is not going away. But here's my question. Would you be happier or would you just be chasing the life that you never stop to question? Maybe your problem isn't motivation, you just haven't asked yourself why you're working towards these goals in the first place. Hi guys, welcome to the Finding Us podcast. I'm your host Isabella Cabeda, and today we are talking about the problem about motivation that no one talks about. Everyone online says the same thing. Motivation comes and goes. Don't rely on motivation. Just stay disciplined. Be consistent. Yeah, they're right. But what comes before discipline? That's what no one talks about. Discipline does matter, but I think we've skipped over the conversation that comes before it. Before you can consistently work towards something, you need to know why you are working toward it. Because if you're walking in the wrong direction, the only thing that discipline is going to do is get you there faster. So today's episode isn't about how to become more motivated, it's about why motivation leaves in the first place. When we start something new, we confuse excitement with purpose. A new planner, a Monday, a business idea, a workout routine, a hobby. All of these things, they just make you seem motivated because you're like, wow, this is so new and I just feel so motivated to get to this. But it's just novelty. It's just like, wow, like this is something new. This is something exciting. I'm so happy that I just started this. Oh, it's a Monday. We're going to do a Sunday reset so we can start off the week fresh. I want to start eating healthy so I can, see results in the gym. Oh, I'm gonna start journaling in my planner. You don't know how many times I have journaled in my planner. I don't even know if that's how you say it correctly, but like I don't think you understand how many times I have written in my journal for like the first 3 days. I'm like super consistent in it, and then the next I'm just done. And it's gone to a point where I start thinking to myself, I'm like, I want to start journaling. But I never do because I know myself. I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. Like I never do it. That's just not me. It is because that excitement always fades. And when it disappears, we just think, oh, I probably just lost motivation. It's not that. You just lost the unusual and exciting feeling. The people who keep going aren't always more disciplined. They just found their reason to keep going. For as long as I can remember, I have always been trying to find my purpose in life. I have started social media way more times than I can count. I have opened so many accounts, so many emails, so much things, and I just post, let's say, 5 videos and then I just stopped posting because I have what, like 3 likes in each of them? And maybe one of them got to 10, but like I don't feel like posting anymore. And it's like I don't want to because I'm seeing it as motivation. But in reality, I'm just excited. It's not like I'm not motivated. In the moment, I am motivated. But then I burn myself out because I get tired. I just start trying to do everything at once and I get tired. I've opened Etsy stores, I've sold things, and they worked. A lot of my things have worked. I have made money from a few things, I have seen progress. But I didn't have a reason as to why I was doing it, and it caused that motivation and that consistency to fade away. When I would stop, I would just tell myself and I would tell everyone around me, I'm just not disciplined, or I just don't like it. I don't like what I'm doing. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was that I didn't have anything to keep me going after the excitement faded. And I really liked seeing progress. I really liked the idea of success. I liked building new things, but it just didn't connect to me. Now, with this podcast, it's different. Before I started, I literally thought to myself, I spent like a good hour and I was just trying to think to myself, I was like, okay, I need to find the reason as to why I want to do this because I'm not going to let this become something that just fades away like all of my other projects have. I'm going to actually go through with this. To go through with it, I'm going to need something that's going to keep me going after the motivation fades. Everyone sees the episodes that I post, but no one sees the days that I'm embarrassed to post something on social media. I get embarrassed. I think everyone gets embarrassed. But I get embarrassed. I don't want to post it because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel like this is so like dumb. Like, what if I don't blow up and then I just look like a wannabe. And I have those days. I have the days where I don't want to edit. Do you know how much time it takes me to edit these videos? It takes me a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. I have to go through and then I realize right before posting that I made a mistake. So I have to go back to the editing software and I have to fix it and I have to download it again. And then I have no storage on my phone. It's so many things. But I have found my reason why. I have found the reason that keeps me going after the motivation faded. And I just love doing this. Like, I've found my purpose, and finding the purpose is what has made me continue to go. Because then every single time that I think to myself, I think it'd be easier if I was just like a Nepo baby. I'm not just creating content, I'm trying to create conversations that I think girls need by what I have seen, by what I have gone through, by all of these things. I'm just trying to build a community. I'm trying to help girls not feel like they are worthless. And it sounds like, damn, like who would even think that? But a lot of girls think that. I thought that. I thought that and a lot. And sometimes I still think it. And then I have to remind myself that that's not true. I shouldn't be like that. So that is what my goal is in this. Also, I've never really been focused on school. I do good in school, but I've never really had like a career that I want to follow in school. I've never had any motivation for anything besides this. And that is why I started so many times. That is why I would quit and then come back, quit and then come back. TikTok is probably tired of me creating so many accounts. And yes, I loved social media at the time and I still do love it. That's why I'm doing it. But I just didn't have the purpose as to why I wanted to do it. I was like, I just want to create content. And then I would quit. But now that I found a deeper purpose, and I didn't just ask myself one time, give myself a surface level answer, and then just continue on with my day. No, I really dug deep into it and I was like, okay, I want to do this because of this. And I was really thinking of it. And I feel like that's what a lot of us need to do. If you have a dream, if you want to do something in life, you need to think to yourself, okay, why am I doing this? Why am I actually doing this? And don't give yourself some basic answer. Really think deep. That is what changed for me, not the discipline. I was still disciplined, but my reason is what changed. Maybe you're not unmotivated. Maybe you're overwhelmed or you're chasing perfection or you're trying to please others, or you're trying to follow others, or maybe you're just comparing your beginning to someone else's chapter 20. Your brain isn't lazy, it's just tired. And sometimes what we call laziness is sometimes just us being burnt out before we start something. And ask yourself better questions instead of being like, okay, how do I get myself to do this? How do I force myself to do this? Ask yourself, why does this actually matter to me? And keep asking why. Oh, I want to go to the gym. Why? I want to look better. Why? I want to feel confident. Why? I want to feel comfortable in my own skin. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. And that's the real goal. Usually, your first answer isn't the real answer. It's 5 or 6 questions deeper. I literally just started reading a book where this exact thing happened, and it's kind of what made me come up with the idea for this episode. But this is the book. For those who are watching the video, it's called An Anonymous Girl. I just started, so I don't know anything that happens yet. And where I'm at in the book, she goes to this, it's like a survey thing, right? So a psychologist, he's doing things for a survey, and the girl goes, because she's gonna get money out of it. So, of course, who wouldn't go? It's just a few questions. As she's answering the questions, she's giving surface level answers. And then the psychologist writes back to her on the computer and says, you need to dig deeper. So, after he says that, the next question, she writes it and then she's like, okay, this is something surface level. She deletes the whole thing and then she gives us something deeper. She deletes it again and she goes deeper. And that is what I'm trying to tell you guys to do with yourselves. Ask yourself the question. Your first one is probably going to be something surface level because you haven't given your brain enough time to even process it. Your first answer is probably not going to be the real one. The next one, maybe you get closer. The next one, you'll get even closer. Maybe the next one you'll finally be there. Some psychologists, they did a study and they call it the self-determination theory. It's basically saying that people are most likely to stay motivated over time if they follow 3 psychological needs: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Autonomy. You have to feel like you chose it, not TikTok, not your friends, not your family, not your boyfriend. You. You chose it because of your goals, because of your hobbies, because of what you like, not because of what anyone else likes, not because of what anyone else has normalized, but because of you. Competence. You have to feel like you're actually moving. You have to feel some type of progress so your brain can be like, okay, my efforts are not going to waste. I'm going to continue and I'm going to stay strong. This one's kind of tricky because progress isn't always quick. Progress takes months, it can take years, it can take weeks, it can take hours, it can take minutes. But some signs of improvement help. And relatedness, feeling connected to others or to a purpose that's maybe bigger than yourself. Maybe it's helping someone. Maybe it's making your family proud. Maybe it's creating something meaningful. When those 3 things are present, motivation is much more sustainable because now you're not just holding on to the excitement. You connected all the dots and you know exactly why you're gonna stay doing what you do. Sometimes motivation disappears because the dream was borrowed. The dream wasn't yours. It was an idea from someone else. Maybe it's someone else's body, someone else's life, someone else's house, someone else's car, someone else's family, someone else's lifestyle. And of course, when we see that, we just think, oh, I want that. But do you? Do you really want that? Or do you just like the idea of it? If the goal isn't actually yours, it's going to be a much heavier weight on you because now you are constantly going to need motivation of carrying a dream that isn't yours. Maybe you've been calling yourself lazy, or you've convinced yourself you don't have enough discipline to do what you want to do in life. But before you try harder, ask yourself, am I struggling because I'm lazy, or because I haven't found a reason to continue? Motivation isn't magic. It isn't something that appears on a Monday morning when you're scrolling on TikTok, when you go to the gym, when you buy Whole Foods. It's something that grows when your actions finally line up with something that genuinely matters to you. So maybe this week, instead of asking, how can I be more motivated? Just ask yourself, what life am I trying to build? Having the answer to that won't make showing up any easier, but it will make sense. Before you close the episode, open your notes app and write down one goal that you've been struggling to stay consistent in. Answer the question. Once you have that goal written down, underneath, put why. Then answer, then put why again. And just keep asking why. To every answer you give, ask why. For example, I want to start studying more. Why? To get good grades. Why? To be valedictorian. Why? To make my parents proud. Why? Because I don't want to let them down. Why? Because if I let them down, I'm going to feel like a failure in life. Okay. But it's just an example to kind of get you thinking about what you're going to write. And answer honestly. Don't lie to yourself because lying to yourself will make things worse, I promise. There's no harm in being honest with yourself. But when you keep asking why until you literally can't answer anymore, you'll realize that the goal you had wasn't actually the goal. And if it is, you might finally remember why it mattered in the first place. I think that's what Finding Us is about. Not about being our dream selves, but finding the reasons, values, and dreams that actually belong to us. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to the episode. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!